Rolling through. So we are going to be live on the Brave Healer Productions Facebook business page here in a moment. I'm going to double check it before I start everything rolling, but it looks like it's looking good here. Let's see. Yeah, there we are. Oh, I love it when technology is my friend on these beautiful launch party mornings. Welcome, everyone. I'm Laura DeFranco, the CEO of Brave Healer Productions and Brave Kids Books, where we have a mission to wake the world up to what's possible, one brave word at a time. Every single book we've published is meant to help our readers live extraordinary lives. And today we get to celebrate this book that is about soul aligned business. I've got soul professionals in the Zoom house with me today, and we are going to have such an amazing, juicy conversation. Congratulations to all the authors for this best-selling book on Amazon, multiple category bestseller. You guys, congrats. I'm so proud of this book, and I want everybody to hear a little bit from you today with your introductions. But first, joining us is lead author of this amazing, gorgeous book, Camille Miller. Camille, I want to turn it over to you right away and just have you kind of introduce this project to everyone. Tell everyone what this was about and tell them a little bit about the bigger mission behind this book series that you're doing.
Yeah, thank you. And thank you, Laura, and all my co-authors. I am so excited to be here today. Just got my book in the mail. Hope you guys got yours as well. This project is actually the second book of our Ultimate Guide series. And because if you don't know who I am, my name is Camille Miller, and I'm the founder of the Natural Life Business Partnership and pioneer of the Soul Professional Movement, hence in our title. And what I do is lead a community of very highly successful entrepreneurs that are living their dream and their life, but doing it in total alignment with who they are. And that is really my purpose, is to give people the resources and the community and everything they need to be successful and in alignment with who they are. So we want you to reach both your spiritual and your financial potential, and put you in touch with people that are doing it all over the world. So our membership right now includes people in about 12 different countries that are doing it and coming together, because when we are collective, that's when our voice matters. So this book series is really about the different stages of becoming successful or building wealth, because so many people at least during the pandemic, we've been around, I think this is our 8th year in business. But during the pandemic, I found a lot of people that were in service or in alignment and doing things that were so good and needed in the world started to take a step back and say, should I still be doing this? Should I still be charging for this? And all of this questioning came. And I felt that that was a perfect time to start saying, yeah, we need you in this world. And this is the time that you should be building these businesses. And unless you build a business to your financial potential and build wealth, you really can't impact the world. You really can't. So I really wanted everyone to bring their gifts to the world and to hear the stories from people that are doing it all over the world. I do run a podcast. It's called Six Figure Souls Doing Good and Making Money, because they should be together. You can do good and make money. So our first book was the start of the series, called The Ultimate Guide to Creating Your Soul Aligned Business. Thank you, Laura. I don't have my copy with me. Thank you. And that book was all about stories of people, and we do have a couple authors that are in both books, stories of people of how they had that aha moment and said, I'm no longer doing this, but now I'm doing this, and I'm going to make my heart sing in a way that lets me every day love what I do. And that whole book is about getting the courage to create it and align it. This second book is about how do you, after you create it, so your first 1 or 2 years, how do you create it? How do you get to a level of success? How do you get it to a level that it's sustaining you, it's sustaining your loved ones and your family or whoever you want in the world? And that's what this book is all about. That's what all the co-authors here are all about. It's about getting it to a level of success that not only feels good, but you're building wealth, you're doing it. And in my particular chapter, which we'll talk about, in my particular chapter, I talk about some big failures I found along the way, big mistakes I made along the way, because I find that when I talk about them, other people can say, me too, or they cannot make those same mistakes. A lot of people, and I imagined that this book, before it went out there, would be about a lot about mindset work, because I feel the difference in creating and being is all up here. Everything is up here. When you believe you can do it, and you do it from a place of service and kindness and generosity, that's when everything else starts to align up for you, right? When you're just so who you are and in alignment and doing it from a place of service, that's when no matter what you do, it doesn't matter what you do. It's who you are inside that makes you successful. And that's what this book is about. So I found 21 co-authors for this book. I feel it was 22 for a reason. Someone asked me when this was, it's like, did you pick 22 for a reason? I was like, no, 22 people showed up for me. I was really going for 25. And then after 22, it seemed like I was in resistance, like it was a struggle. So I just stopped at 22 because that's what was supposed to be in the book. So the first book was 25 and that's where that stopped. So these co-authors shared their stories of building an amazing business. And it's a lot about mindset. It's a lot about struggles. It's a lot about just being who they are. So, I had this vision of bringing the best of the best together. So we could create community, we can share our stories, and hopefully our readers can learn from us and learn who we are and that we're doing great things in the world. I don't know if I answered your question, but there's you go.
You answered a lot of good questions
Yeah.
there. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful to you for the big ass vision that you've had and for partnering with me to bring these words into the world, these beautiful books. I think you were pinned earlier, so probably when I held up the first book, it wasn't really showing on Facebook, but see that beautiful cover of book number 1, book number 2, and I want you guys to, when you get your books, go to the crystal ball and pay attention to the difference.
Yep, they were done on purpose.
Yeah. You can look in there and you can have fun with that. But thank you, Camille. Thank you for bringing this stellar cast of authors together. You guys are going to get to hear from them here in a minute or two. And also thanks to our guests who have joined us on Zoom. Thank you for being here and joining us for this celebration. Thanks to the live stream watchers. If you're watching on Facebook, share it out for us, would you? Share out the link to the live stream and let's spread the love of this party today. So the men and women that you see here on the Zoom, the amazing authors of this book, they are leaders in their fields. They are master holistic and alternative healing experts, channels, teachers, coaches, therapists, business badasses, and all around amazing people. They're changing the world with their brave words. They're here to help you by sharing real stories of their lives. And then the master teachings they want to share with you in terms of really getting to that next level of success. I'll say a special thank you to all of you who did come on to the YouTube show with me. I got to interview a lot of you, and you really answered the question, what does it take to get to that next level of success? I think there are a lot of people out there who are going to benefit from those golden nuggets that you're writing about and that you spoke about in the interviews. So I thank you all for that so much. And thanks for saying yes to this, for stepping up to take on the challenge I gave you of not just writing any story, but sharing a story from your heart and soul and trying to get that onto the page in the exact right way, right? I know that's a challenge, and I appreciate you all so much for doing it so brilliantly. So we have Megan Reed up first. Megan, are you ready? Wave at me, would you?
I'm
Thank you
ready.
very much. All right. Introduce yourself.
Well, first, thanks so much for having us all. It was such an amazing project to be a part of, and I'm just so grateful to be part of it. But I'm Megan Reed, founder and chief consciousness officer at Soulfully LLC. I've been a certified coach and energy healer for over a decade. My corporate background spans across well-being, peak performance, and sales. And I specialize with my clients in manifestation and goal achievement, energy healing, abundance mindset, sales performance, elevating consciousness, as well as just general holistic well-being. I wrote chapter 2 of this book, and along with what Camille was sharing, my experience has aligned with that and really being mental and vibrational in getting me to the next step. So my chapter is Manifestation Blueprint, How to Bring Your Vision to Reality. And I'll just read a little bit of my intro of my chapter here today. I allow myself to release the struggle and manifest my goals with grace, ease, and joy. This isn't just a positive affirmation. It was a conscious decision made after decades of learning through trial and error, and a lesson that has served me well in every dimension of life. Sure, manifesting our dreams takes effort, but it doesn't have to require struggle. After years of allowing the achiever in me to believe success needed to be hard, I finally realized there was a better way to bring my visions to reality by leveraging the power of my mind and energy. So my chapter is really all about leveraging vibration, energy, and mindset, along with intentional action to grow and scale your business. Thank you, Laura.
Ooh, I love it, Megan. I love it when you guys read your quotes. I can feel the feels. Thank you. India, are you ready? All right, make sure. Yeah, you're unmuting, right? Yeah, good.
Hello, everyone. My name is India Clark. I am a licensed anxiety and trauma therapist, a transformation and empowerment strategist, and I'm also a trauma-informed mindset, life, and identity coach. I am the founder of Resilient Wings, LLC, where I provide consulting, wellness coaching, therapy, and coaching as well. And I have written chapter 3, which is titled Leveraging Life's Detours, How to Reclaim Your Power and Set a Course for Success. The quote that I am going to be reading from you all today is right before my tip. Your life is a powerful symbol of your evolution. Each twist, turn, detour, and chapter is simply a part of your becoming testimony. Don't get it twisted. None of them will define you, nor will they keep you from your purpose. Even when you get knocked down, be it once or a few times, you can get back up again. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, India. I love the quote. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Laura Waldman, you're up next. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Hello, I'm Laura Waldman, also known as the Abundance Activator and author of Money Manifestation Mastery and co-author of all Camille's books so far, which is very wonderful to be part of. And my chapter is Big Money, Big Purpose, Big Power, Manifesting Millions for Big-Hearted Entrepreneurs. And I really work very intentionally and mindfully with money, with conscious wealth creation, so we can be, better leaders, business owners, and custodians of the wealth that we create. Money is power, and I'm all about how do we work with that power as consciously and mindfully as possible. So it's a life-giving energy rather than a life-taking energy, a suffocating energy. So my big, mission with this work is redefining, rebuilding our whole financial system, one business, one body, one bank account at a time. So that's my big passion. And what I wanted to share with you today is just a little quote from my chapter, which is create intentional space for the amount of money that you want. Listen to your heart, listen to your soul. Your soul-aligned wealth frequency will turn you on and light you up.
Yes, it will. I love it. Thank you, Laura. Awesome. Okay, I don't think Suzanne snuck in here while I wasn't looking, correct, y'all? Just check in real, okay. So our next author of chapter 5 was Suzanne S. Joy Stewart. She wrote chapter 5, Believe, Your Soul's Challenges and Rewards. Discover the remarkable power within you. Suzanne, thank you so much for being a part of this project. So I'm going to skip over to Dr. Sansa Curtis. Are you ready?
Yes, my dear, ready?
All right, go for it.
Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Sansa Curtis. I am a physician assistant and a naturopath and the founder of 3D Wellness and co-founder with Dr. Serena Satcher with the Beautifulness Weight Loss, Weight Liberation Program. And I practice a functional integrative practice in Roswell, Georgia, as well as a thought leader throughout the city. I am co-founder of Georgia Integrative Health Coalition. So when Camille came to me, asked me the book, I thought it was great. So I wrote chapter 15. It's Healing Legacy, Finding Purpose in the Pursuit of Natural Medicine. And really, I focus on just building and finding your own purpose. And in that, life doesn't happen to you, it happens for you. So the one thing that I bring out in my chapter is the Biz Wealth plan. And that is looking at the plan and finding your purpose. And then the second step was the legacy and why you're doing it with your legacy and action and nourishment. And I'm so thankful to be a part of this program. And Camille, I thank you for reaching out. And Laura, it's been a great experience. So thank you.
Thank you, Sansa. Awesome. These books are my legacy work, and that's pretty cool. There's big ripples in this work through all of you out into all of the people you're helping. It's pretty big potato stuff to me around here. Okay, so Samantha, I believe, is not here, and I want to introduce her for you guys. Samantha Servino wrote chapter 6, At the Top of Your Game, Applying What You Know to Create Your Life by Design. Samantha, thank you so much for being a part of this project. And our author of chapter 7 is not here today. Femi Ayabendejo. Somebody tell me if I totally butchered his name. I do my best on that one. He wrote chapter 7, Trauma, the Key to Evolution. Femi, thank you so much for being a part of this project. And Camille, I'm going to bring it to you for a moment here in between our intros. Tell us a little bit more specifically about the inner circle at NLBP.
Yeah, so we have different levels of membership, starting with free, so everyone can get the resources that they need. And then we have our Soul Connector level, which helps you with mentorship and building the basis of your business and allowing you master classes and networking and in the community. Our highest level is called Soul Proprietor, which includes the inner circle. But at our Soul Proprietor level, we now have 3 masterminds, right? So we have a general mastermind if you haven't reached about 6 figures yet. It's different in different countries. So, whatever that success level looks like for you. We have our second one called our Soul Practitioner, SOUL, which is a single person, but you are the basis of a business, a doctor, a lawyer, a therapist, a CPA. If you left, there would be no more practice. And then our third one is called the Inner Circle, and it is for people that have created businesses that are bringing in 250,000 or more. They have a staff of 2 or more people. They could be contractors or something else. But they have a vision of building a brand, and they are the CEO of that brand. And at some point in life, you have to learn to step out of that role or what you're going to do. So you're building your legacy in your brand. So it is for people that have created a brand in a total alignment and they're running it from a place. Some are brick and mortar, some are virtual. And it doesn't matter what you do, but you're building an international brand that you want to, bring way over $1 million or into multi-million dollars. And this is where our CEOs come together and they share best practices. They really talk through things. We have monthly meetings. We also have CEO training. So we bring in coaches that have only worked with people above $1 million or multi-million dollars. So they have interactive trainings. We have monthly what we call strategy and operations calls to help us with that. And we also, now we're doing bi-yearly meetups. Sometimes we have mountain meetings. We go hiking and we talk. But now we're actually doing bi-monthly in-person morning strategy and then something else. So our inner circle is really for CEOs that are building businesses differently, and it came about because I couldn't find my people in the world that were building brands in alignment. I can join masterminds, but they were very aggressive and very number oriented, and you still need to do that. But I also thought about abundance and creation and who am I serving and who else, and I also have an international staff, which is kind of a new way of running businesses. We don't have vacation times. People just take the time that they need because, I'm in service to them as they are in service to me. So we run things a little differently. So having a CEO and an inner circle like that at that level has been a game changer for me and hopefully for all the people that are a part of it. It's still small and it's by invitation only. And now you must interview with everyone as well to be accepted into the group. So it is a very curated group of highly, highly successful CEOs that are all soul aligned. Thank you for asking.
Awesome, Camille. I would add it's carefully curated and badass, and it's probably what a lot of you have been looking for that, just didn't exist before now. So just a huge shout out to that Inner Circle program and what it's doing to elevate everybody in terms of, we're all out there helping the world and you're helping us help the world. So it's pretty awesome. Dr. Serena Satcher, are you ready to introduce yourself?
Yes, hi, and thank you for having me here, and thank you for accepting me into the book to participate. I really appreciate all the guidance that I've accepted from both of you. And my name is Serena Satcher. I'm a medical doctor, and the name of my practice is the Regenesis Wellness and Health, and I call it Treat Yourself to Health. And my chapter was titled Gods, Guides, and Grandmas Brought Me Here. And it's chapter 8. And my focus in my chapter was talking about how I gained my spiritual education and how I utilize that in my practice and how I utilize that in making decisions in my business. So it was a little bit different. And so I'll just read a very short excerpt. My ancestors continued the traditions and used the knowledge handed down to them from enslaved Africans and indigenous Americans who brought the legacy of plant healing to this country, which would later morph into modern medicine. Unfortunately, I was not able to learn or directly obtain the knowledge of plants that my grandmother had, which is why I believe I receive it in the dream state or the meditative alpha state. Many people in my parents' generation felt shame surrounding not being able to access modern medicine, and therefore many of the traditions have disappeared. So in my practice, I utilize holistic medicine forms like integrative and functional medicine. So in the chapter, I go on to get more into how I get that intuition and how I use it as guidance. Thank you.
Thank you. Gods, Guides, and Grandmas. I loved your title. I think we all have a little bit of those people helping us on somewhere, right? Jennifer Peterzak, are you ready to introduce yourself?
I am ready, Laura. Thank you. Hello, all. It's so beautiful to see all of my co-authors here together. Thank you so much for being a part of this with me. I am Jennifer Peterzak. I am a certified public accountant. And for some time, I've noticed how when my clients come to me to do a tax return, to have bookkeeping done, or to go over their financial reports for their business, there's emotion behind that. There's energy, blocked energy behind that typically too. And so I took a turn with my own practice. I became certified as an Akashic record reader, as well as an energy healer, to bring the financial aspect together with the energy. And to segue into a part of my chapter, I say, we don't have to choose between our left and right brains. We have both for a reason. I'll share a strategy with you to help build your confidence for those of you who need that. For all, I invite you to give yourself permission to play with the numbers for a moment instead of calculating them. That is an excerpt from chapter 9 of Financial Performance Breakthrough, Reading Your Numbers with Confidence. Thank you.
Awesome, Jennifer. Thank you. All right, let's see. Jalinda Johnson is not here with us today. She wrote chapter 10, When It All Feels Like Too Much, Strategies for Managing Your Well-Being in Times of Overwhelm. Jalinda, thank you so much for being a part of this project. And that means John is next. Are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
I'm John Jaramillo, leadership performance coach, and I work mostly with people that I've gravitated more towards people that are new to their positions, whether through a hiring, a promotion, making sure that they bring all the skills and the abilities, the confidence that they had that got them into that job forward with them. I think a lot of people kind of lose that when they get into new positions. So that's the kind of work that I do. I'm also a podcaster. My podcast is the Book Leads, Impactful Books for Life and Leadership, where I interview authors and non-authors about books that have impacted the most them in their life and work and business. I've had a few people on this call today on the podcast. That came from wanting to learn about my network and just our humanity. And my chapter is called Platinum Networking, Designing a Unique Experience for Others in a World of Disconnection. And this is the section that's right after the tips that I go through, where I learned from my parents as blue-collar immigrants about not directly, but through their actions, how to approach my networking. So although none of these tips speaks to your work history, resume, business card, or sales prospects, Platinum Networking builds off of those traditional networking pillars. Platinum Networking is about others having an experience designed by you, someone whose work is trustworthy and steeped in humanity. Although they were unknowingly my best life coaches, my parents rarely sat me down to share lessons. Instead, they worked hard, did what they could, and tried to live their best lives while setting the best example in the process. There's a good chance my upbringing and childhood experiences are very different from yours. Regardless of that difference, there are lessons we can learn from each other. We can find lessons in each other's stories. We just have to keep our minds and hearts open to listening and learning. That's the human story. So I think echo everybody's thanks to everybody else on the call. Camille, Laura, your teams have been amazing. Just the encouragement, the power, and I love working with people, finding people that really get it done in the world and want to make a difference. And just by reading everybody else's stories here, learning from you ladies that have been at the helm of this project, it's just amazing to know that there are people out there that are getting it done and not just working hard, but just bringing it to the next level of just humanness and anything that's soul aligned and making a difference in the world. So thank you.
Thank you, John. Right back at you with those words. It's been really, really fun to talk with and collaborate with some of you. It's other level when people get it and they come together. The energy is big, and I've so appreciated all of you for that. Donna, are you ready?
I am ready.
All
I'll
right.
pronounce my last name for you, Laura, so you don't have to. So my name is Dr. Donna Lewandowski. I am a social psychologist and a certified organizational executive coach who, after a long corporate career, now the founder of Way Power Consulting. And I named it that because a lot of times people have the willpower to achieve their goals, but they need a little bit of support with the way power. So my approach is based in positive psychology and aiming efforts at achieving goals with intention and with purpose, and also for a purpose. I wrote chapter 12. It's entitled It's Not Too Late, Clearing a Path to Your Purpose. And it focuses on building from a strong and authentic foundation. My story in the chapter shares my recent journey, my successful journey with breast cancer. And I would love to read you a little bit from that. So that's what I'll do. It doesn't have to be cancer. Wrecking balls come in all sorts of shapes and sizes. Sometimes you see them coming as they knock you right between the eyes. Other times they approach ninja-like from the back, silent but lethal. If you'd asked me before my diagnosis whether I would fall into despair, depression, and anger, or run towards hope, faith, and optimism, I'm not sure I could have predicted. But I was asking the wrong question. The question wasn't to wonder what I would do, but rather to decide what I would do. I needed to pick my path, and so I did.
Awesome, Donna. Thank you. I let those quotes sink in for a minute. I mean, I've read all of your words, but when you all read out loud, you're kind of putting this beautiful energy, vibration to your words, and it's powerful. I want you all to get out there and read your stories, where we invite all of our authors to come to the Brave Healer Book Club on Facebook and do live whole chapter readings. So please, if you're listening and you love to just sit and be read to, that's something that's happening over there. And so for you authors today, please get with me if you want to set that up and people can hear your whole chapter that way. I love, love, love listening to you all. Teresa, are you ready?
I had to find unmute. I am ready. And as you can see, no moss grows on this Rolling Stone. So my name's Teresa Trigus Pfefferly. My friends call me TTP for obvious reasons. I have chapter 13, which is amazing because 13 is actually 4, which has a special significance for me. And the name of my chapter is Real Estate Saved My Life, Failing Forward and Not Looking Back. In my chapter, I talk about at a really adverse time when, basically I felt like someone had thrown a grenade into my life and I had to make choices very quickly to support my family. And I think that why real estate, I have no idea, because 85% of people that get into real estate don't survive. So for me, I thought not only was I getting my story out there, which was extremely cathartic and scary and probably inspiring for some people, I think that helping people to understand what it does take to be able to survive in the real estate game is probably a useful resource. I talk about being authentic in your business. I talk about burning your safety boats, which I know any of us who have followed Tony Robbins, he's famous for. And really just that act in my life shifted so many things when I was able to identify what it was I was holding on to in fear and not running towards with vigor. So I'm very excited to be part of this project, and I'm very grateful to Camille for reaching out to me and offering me the opportunity. I find it extremely ironic and probably very on purpose in the universe. And I'm excited to see how my chapter can impact those who are moving into a new phase of their lives and inspire them. And I'm also looking forward to inspiring people in the game of real estate.
Awesome, Teresa. Thank you very much. And this gives me a chance to say this is so much more than a book. This is a community of people who are very generously there for you to take the next step. If you might have a question about something they said today, you read a chapter and you want to take the next step further, right? There are master teachings in this book. This is like, oh, if we had had this book when we started our businesses, we would be a million steps ahead. Camille, do you want to speak to the community in general, just what that's meant for you in your business?
Oh, yeah, thank you. And it also goes through, I write the last chapter in the book, and it's always about community, and how community has been impactful in my life. I tend to do very well surrounded by others. So even when I was in corporate, I knew that I could create community and surround myself with way smarter people in different areas of business. And I didn't have to know the answers to everything. And I think it's really, really, really important in entrepreneurship because it is so incredibly lonely. And you wake up and you have days where you feel like quitting. In fact, that's how my first chapter starts. That, should I just go get a real job? That's the first sentence of my chapter. And I think we all kind of struggle with that. And it's no matter where you are on the entrepreneurial path. And I think that's the most important thing. If you're just starting out, if you're a couple years in and you've reached a plateau that you just can't break through, or you've hit your millions and you're really successful, giving back is very, very important. So I have learned that no matter where I am, I can be a mentor for someone else. And no matter where I am, I need a mentor. Right? And to surround myself with people that have been where I want to go, are already there, are already highly successful. And I think Denzel Washington says it the best. I don't know the exact words. It is on our website, though. If you surround yourself with 5 intellectual people, you will become the 6th. If you surround yourself with 5 millionaires, you will become the 6th. Right? But if you surround yourself with struggling entrepreneurs, you will also become the 6th. Right? So always to surround yourself with the people that are where you want to be. And I find I'm a part of the inner circle, which we talked about. I am an active member there. I facilitate it, but I'm also an active member, and I share where I'm struggling, where I'm doing well. And it's important. And I created it because I couldn't find my mentors. But I always have to find people that know what they're doing. And some things I'm really good at and other things I'm not. So I think in our community in NLBP in general, and that's what we have, the micro communities are about, you are a mentor in one area, but you are absolutely a student in another. So I am a student in many areas. I go to our mindset mastery, I go to business by design, there's marketing strategy, there's all these other ones, but especially in mindset, right? I'm a student. There are masters in our community that don't know how to run a business. They're a master in what they do. And I get to benefit from that piece, right? Because mindset's a part of it. But I can help them in like strategy. That's where I'm a master, right? So I think community is the most important thing in life, both personally and professionally, for you to be who you are. Because if you don't like the people that you're hanging out with, all you have to look in is the mirror, because you attract exactly who you are. So if you want to be somewhere else, you got to get into those circles. You've got to get hanging with the people that you want to be. So that's why also when we bring together this community of co-authors, it's so important. And I encourage you to really get to know each other and know each other's stories, and to reach out after you've read each other's chapters and just connect at a different level, because there's so much more in common than just that we're all entrepreneurs.
Thank you, Camille.
You're welcome.
Okay, Candace, are you ready?
Yes, thank you. And it's great to follow Camille. Camille, thank you for driving this community and being the innovator of this. And Laura, I love the process. I am Candace Friedenberg, founder of Untapped Potential. And Untapped Potential is an award-winning business that focuses uniquely on advancing business to change for equality and reigniting careers, particularly of educated, experienced women working to get back to their caliber following caregiving. And Camille, your comment on community is one of the biggest parts of my strategic advice for moms to shift who they're hanging around to get back to their professional caliber, so they start getting their jargon back and things of that nature. But really, I'm just honored to be part of this book that focuses on really aligning your passion with your work or your business. And that's a lot of the work within Untapped Potential in supporting moms so that they can do the juggle and get back to where they're supposed to be, but aligning it with their passion. So their second stage career is really where they want to put their time into and can really leverage their energies, moving forward and get back to their caliber fastest. But this book gave me the opportunity to share kind of how I forged my own path in aligning an idea. The chapter 14 titled Launching Untapped Potential, your passion for equality. And I was passionate about equality and how women were not getting to senior roles because of this gap that they had. Women couldn't get into STEM because they missed these years that technology had changed. So we provide a network of support, skill up opportunities, and then real curated engagement for women to get back into companies that see the value of this demographic. And I share my story and my strategy. And it's been a great eye-opening experience to hear all the other stories along the way. And I look forward to the value of this book. Thank you for having me, Camille and Laura.
Thank you, Candace. Okay, let's see. Next up is Claudia. You ready?
I am ready. Thank you so much for having me. First, I want to say that I'm so excited about this book, and I thought I was excited from the beginning, but as I'm listening to all of my author friends here, I'm just getting more and more excited, and I'm realizing whoever buys this book gets a treasure chest of wisdom in so many ways. And I'm so excited to be part of this. And also want to thank you, Laura and Camille, and also my friend Donna, who's part of this journey with me. We met 20 years ago, and now here we are together writing in the same book. So excited. I'm part of also NLBP, and I also want to say that it's a tremendous resource, and the connections I've made in that group will be for a lifetime. And I have relocated from the US away to Europe, and it just makes me feel like I have a home on the East Coast. So I'm really glad to be part of that. My name is Claudia Holler. I'm a board certified health and wellness coach. My business is called Vibrant Health by Claudia. That's my coaching business. And I also have another business called Virtual Health Coaches, which is a community like 400 members, and they're all board certified health and wellness coaches, where we sharpen our coaching skills and try to grow our businesses and also change the world. So in my work as a health coach, I focus on brain health, specifically people with ADD. And my chapter is called Not Broken, Just Different, Harnessing the Power of a Broken Brain. Whether diagnosed with ADD or you just have a distracted brain, it can show up in ways of feeling disorganized, having a short attention span, being easily distracted, procrastinate, have poor internal supervision and impulse control. And these behaviors can really negatively affect our self-esteem, mental health, relationships. And some people lose their jobs over things like this. And scatterbrains have goals and dreams, but that's not enough, right? Like they need systems, and that's kind of where I come in. So if what I said resonates to you or anybody is listening to this, remember that you and your brain are not broken, you're just different. And one of my favorite quotes that I always refer to is, you do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. And that's from James Clear. And we scatterbrains need very narrow lanes and high walls, and we will excel and thrive. So I'm going to give it back to Laura.
Love it, Claudia. Thank you very much. Safriana is next. Are you ready?
I am. Hi, everyone. I just want to say, I love hearing from everyone because it really highlights how diverse this book was, right? Really, there's so much diversity that is represented in this whole volume. And that's my passion, is diversity and inclusion. So I just want to geek out a little bit about that. So I'm Safriana Luna, the Queer Spirit Guide, and I'm founder of Living Luna. And Living Luna is a brand that is centered around nurturing authenticity, loving without shame, and uplifting the others of the world. So we really are the diversity and inclusion squad over here. And I'm a prior public school educator who turned trauma therapist, who then turned holistic life coach, consultant, and spiritual leader. And I help individuals find their own authentic alignment through what I do, as well as helping businesses be more inclusive. So I'm author of chapter 17, which is called Building the Bridge from Trauma to Triumph, Aligning with Your Soul's Desires. And it's a story of how I had to overcome my own shadows and my own trauma in order to start a business again after a very much failed attempt. And I'm just going to read a very, very brief section because it's my tip. And I think it's just important to the conversation we're having here today. It's my section called Redefine Success, because we need to define our own success. So here's the quote: "A successful biz owner is aligned in their own authenticity, not what society has taught them. Success is not based on how well you can fit into society. Success is at the soul level. Success is about sustainability. It's about the vibrance of our joy, and it's about having a positive impact for all." Thank you very much for including me in this project.
Thank you, Safriana. Love the quote. Super awesome. All right. Our next author of chapter 18 is not here today. It's Dr. Liz Lehman. She wrote The Essential Wellness Prescription, Simple Self-Care Strategies for Busy Entrepreneurs. Liz, thank you so much for being a part of this project. And Dorian, I don't think snuck in, right, guys? Want to make sure. Okay. Dorian Madraperla wrote chapter 19, The Achiever's Mindset, How to Believe Your Way to Greatness. Dorian, thank you so much for being a part of this project. Chapter 20 was written by Dr. David Suarez, Making the Change to Optimize Your Health and Mind, How to Discover and Achieve Your Ultimate Success. David, thank you so much for being a part of this project. In chapter 21, Renee isn't in here, is she? Renee, I don't think so. Okay, just double checking to make sure. She wrote chapter 21, The USP Solution, Your Own Adversity is Your Unique Selling Point. Renee, thank you so much for being a part of this project. So that means Heidi has been extremely patient this hour. Are you ready to introduce yourself?
Oh my gosh, I'm so ready. And I'm like, what a community. You guys, this book, how many of you would have loved to have had this day one? How many tears would have not been shed? So thank you for having me. This project was game life enhancing, game life changing. And I am the visionary and CEO of When You Lead Coaching and Consulting. We are really on a mission to heal outdated leadership that says results at all cost, which is crap. We just got to name it. This book is the definition of updated leadership. This collaboration is updated leadership, leading from purpose, leading from passion. And the experience of writing this strategy and the story combination. How many of you loved that? Where you were like, thank God someone else had the system. I needed it. And being able to share and read all of your stories. I said yes, because I'm a quick start when it comes to the Kolbe. We're like, I'm just going to say yes and we'll figure it out as we go. But as we got into this process, it was a game changer. And to be able to meet all of you has been incredible. So my title is Blow the Lid Off of Your Success, How to Leverage Your Anxiety to Create Clarity in Your Business. Because outdated leadership says you always have to be in a good mood and everything's going to go well if you just have the right attitude. And that has not been my experience. having anxious feelings, having depression feelings. Camille, to your point, should I just get a straight job? That's what we call it at our house. Should I just get a straight job? Someone will give me money. It's this very even exchange. And so I really related to that. So my chapter is an acronym, LID. It's the LID method. So here's a little blurb from my chapter. My dissonance was foundational. It required me to look at myself, my participation in an outdated system, my desire for deep change and impact. I'm grateful for that dissonance. It allowed me to dismantle systems of oppression in my life and in my work. It led me to some of the most influential people in my life to date. It shook me to my core and it woke me up. And if you let it, your dissonance and your subsequent decisions will absolutely take your business to the new next level. The new next level is deeper, more connected, more collaborative, more diverse and inclusive, and creates spaces of belonging. And I think that is exactly what this book did. So thank you for this incredible opportunity. What a thrill. I'm truly delighted. Thank you.
Thanks, Heidi. I love that. Created spaces for belonging or of belonging. I like the feel of that very, very much. So, okay, making sure I did not forget anyone who is here in my Zoom room with me. Again, thanks to the visitors here, Elizabeth, Nicole, thank you for joining us on Zoom. Camille, let's wrap this up today with just a couple of last words. What's the one most important thing you want people to know about becoming a successful soul professional?
You can do it. And you have all of the gifts and talent and knowledge you need. It's all within you. Everything you need is absolutely within you. And if you don't feel so, surround yourself with people that will support you in believing. So many people look to family and friends that are not entrepreneurs, right? And that is not your community. Those are not your people. So yeah, to reach out to any of my co-authors, reach out to me, join our community. NLBP has free networking and free master classes and lots of free stuff. And if anyone's interested in the other stuff, you can jump on a call with me and we can see if we're a good fit. But mostly I want to thank my co-authors for showing up, for saying yes, for putting your story out there. Because I know from the first time I put my story out there, it was kind of like a holy crap moment. Like, wow, now my stuff is out there. And it is a really scary part, but also very therapeutic. And yeah, I hope to get a third book out in this series, which will be Leaving Your Legacy and Leadership in This New World. So I don't know if that's the title, but that's where I'm going with it. So hopefully some of you will join us again in our third book of the series. So just a major thank you. And thank you to Laura and her team for all of your guidance. Getting us to a bestseller and ranking #1 again is pretty amazing. So yeah, just gratitude to everyone.
Thank you, Camille. I love listening to the theme of book 3, Leadership and Legacy. You guys know where to come if you need more information about being a part of that. Camille, again, you had a big vision with a series of 3 books and a big community of amazing business owners. And gratitude is always the way that we finish off these celebrations, because these beautiful books, they do not get created without a really amazing team behind me. And I'm going to say just a few thank yous to finalize today. Kelly Kashula, she's our Brave Healer Productions publishing manager. Thank you so much. I also have an international team, including Kelly, and she is our director of Brave Kids books as well. She does a lot for me, and I couldn't do these without her running in the background all the details. Thank you to our launch team. If you were one of the people who said, yes, I will help you launch that book, we have our Brave Healer Book Launch Warriors group here on Facebook. Thank you so much. We don't get to bestseller without you. It is a sincere thank you for saying yes to being part of that team and reading the book ahead of everyone else in the world, and then coming back to purchase and leave your reviews. It really matters. We couldn't do it without you. Thank you so much. Thanks, Dino Marino, who is our designer for this book.
Great
Cover and beautiful interiors. Dino, you make our books shine and stand out among the rest. Thank you. And Maggie McLaughlin is our Amazon pro, you guys. There would be a couple extra headaches if it weren't for Maggie. Thank you, Maggie, for everything you do on the back end of things to make sure our every single launch goes off without a hitch in terms of the details of Amazon. Oh my gosh, I love you, Maggie. All right. Any thank yous we forgot, Camille?
Oof.
I think
you've got a lot of them. There were so many people that are a part of this, including all of our proofreaders. You each probably had one in your own family. So, yeah.
And a quick one to Paul Taubman, Christy Sullivan, Meryl Hayton. They wrote beautiful reviews for our back cover. Thanks to all three of you for stepping up to do that, because we're wanting those words from you faster than usual. We appreciate you getting those in for us so we can print the beautiful book. All right, authors, last thank you goes back to you all. Thanks for being willing to share your hearts and souls on these pages. And thank you for being a part really of this Brave Healer revolution, for shining your light so brightly in the world. This book is going to be a business changer for our readers, and I'm really grateful and honored to be walking this path with all of you. Thank you a million times over. And that would be a wrap. We are celebrating Brave Healer Productions' 61st Amazon bestseller today with this beautiful book. So if you have your book, authors, will you hold it up and show and tell as we say goodbye to the live streamers? Thanks you guys for tuning in today. Yay. Oh, some of you didn't get it yet. You have 3, Donna. I love it. Bye guys. See you.